Hello, 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 Jeffrey and Janet. Jeffrey and Janet. Jeffrey and Janet. Papa G. And then Janet and Jeffrey. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. You're the only three on. I'm in a good mood because I accomplished something tonight. I've been complaining about my computer being so dark I couldn't see you guys. So I used my phone and I did a little Google search and it led me right to I fixed it myself. Didn't have to take it to my son. So I feel good. Do 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 do. Now let's get into the show. Let's say the pledge and let's oh wow, we got 14 on now. Papa G and Ian Bell and no one's going over here. It's just four of you. But I'm gonna do the pledge, play the music, and then we're gonna get into the show. It's a show I'm hoping we have good fun, a lot of fun with. I'm hoping you guys get some good talking in. Um, Depending on where you live, where I live, right now we're just a little shy of 5 hours. And it makes sad to see 2025 go, guys, because it wasn't what we wanted. But I think 2025 is going to kind of go out just kind of slowly. But I think 26 is going to come in really good. And I've got some backings of that and some high Bill Woods. Hi, Justin 4204. Hi, Ian Bell 4527. Boy, a lot of people got numbers behind them now. Wow. But anyway, let's play the music and do the pledge, and we'll get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If tomorrow were gone, work for all my life. Yeah, it's not it's not true. I thank my lucky stars. When flag still stands for freedom, and then take that away. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston. So this one's a yeah. The times and key times and the favorite French and French, popcorn and French. And under the crown, you've got two Pacific. When they told you, when they told you for some reason, my order didn't go through last night, the dog stuff, I went over to the store and I ended up in the I'm gonna go ahead and use my car because I was getting cowboy sauce movie a cat movie for this. I think what everything I got out and squeeze them like I took a while doing the wallet and I sit in the car because it's too much. I really good for it almost 15 times now it hasn't worked. I wonder if they got me to try to, because they'll lock it up and they'll leave it off. And I'm really not happy with it because I'm tired of wanting to do something, but I can't do it because the cards are locked up. And now, and my debit cards are bank. I can't do anything about it because they're closed tomorrow. So I can't do, if I want to do anything tomorrow, I can't. God bless the USA. I was just telling Ron about a problem I've encountered, and that my bank, my bank for some reason has just decided to block my card, my debit card, and I can't do nothing about it until Friday because, but I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. Watch football, and hopefully, if Jana's on tonight, I don't know if she is.
Yeah, I think you said yeah.
I see Ron Anderson made the show.
Yeah, pretty made.
We got 27 people here. Big crowd tonight. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do here. Well, guys, we're been a matter of hours um, away from a new year. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, 2025 has not been the year that we hoped for, has not been the year that we've wanted, but we're still here. Some of us. Over the last few years, we've lost people we shouldn't have lost because in 2016, a certain man took over and he promised to get us these things in 2016. And now we're getting ready to go into 2026. And I know he has a lot of cleaning up to do. I understand what's going on. But I'm going to tell you something, everyone. And I talked to this girl, Julia, in the Ukraine. And I said something to her about the war. It looks like it's going to be ending soon. And she said, that's great news because they never know if they're going to have electricity. Their house, their heat runs on electricity. So if you don't have electricity, the three women fight for the two little kids to sleep with them so they got someone to snuggle to and body temperature, right? And we got talking about different things. If the war ends, that's really great. And she said something to me and she said, but what about the empty chairs at the supper table? What about the empty beds in the bedrooms because of this senseless, stupid war? And that's what I say. You take over in 2016, you should have never allowed it to be stolen in 2020. And we should have someone else in there right now where you could do 3 terms. I don't give a rat's ass. How many of us have lost people since 2016 and they was ready to go then? I know myself, I'm speaking with a semi sad heart tonight because a girl, Sue Burr, who was my sister-in-law. But before Sue was my sister-in-law, Sue was my friend. I've known Sue since she was 6 years old. She was a year, 2 years behind me in school. Sue was such a good friend to me in school that in in study hall, when I would do this to take my nap, she'd always make sure she woke me up so I didn't sleep through it and be sitting there in the next study hall. One day she messed with me and she didn't wake me up, and I got the tension on that one. No, she was a friend. She loved sports. She loved fishing. And a story. And I've told you guys, I'm going to get to the kids, but I got to tell this story. And I got to tell some other stories about Sue because I like to celebrate life instead of mourning life. And the stories that I'm about ready to tell you about this woman, she was a big woman. She was short, but she was big. She wasn't athletic like my ex-wife, but she was good at slow pitch softball. She could pitch that slow pitch softball with the arc and hit that mat or that strike zone 95% of the time. She was a machine, but she was slow. And the first story I'm going to tell you, me and Ron was watching my girlfriend at the time, Sue, and her other 2 sisters playing in a tournament up in Kankakee. And it had been raining and it was nasty weather, not cold, but muddy and that. And they decided to start playing again, and they're out there playing. And Sue crushes a ball to right field. One bounces it at the 260 foot marker, way over the right fielder's head, and one bounces it to the fence. She's chugging, she's a booging, and everything going, and she's flopping up and down in the chest, and she's just going as fast as her little fat legs would take her. She rounds first and she's heading for second, and Ron's already over here laughing. She's heading for second, and all of a sudden that right fielder picks the ball up, and I thought, holy crap, does she got an arm? And she threw a BB from the fence to second base. And Sue sees it, and her eyes got about as big as the softball that they was playing with, and she stopped to go back to second, and when she did, she fell in the mud, her size, she can't get traction. And here's this big woman crawling in the mud, trying to get back to first. And the opposition and everybody in the stands got laughing so hard, the opposition could not make the throw to first to get her out. She called. Then the funny part is, you think it's funny there. It gets funnier. The funny part is, in between innings, when Sue had to go back out and pitch, they had to call timeout and bring out some ground people to fill in the holes. And I'm not saying this story and telling you guys to be mean. I'm telling you because when people do things, when you have fun with people, and Sue, like I said, I've known Sue since she was 5 or 6 years old, and she was 2 years younger than me. So over 60 years, I've known her. I played a lot of sandlot ball with her. She was my sister. She went to come across hard times a couple of times, and she lived in my house once for a year and a half and once for a year. I got along good with Sue. The other story is when my mom was still alive, we used to host 4th of July right here at my mom's house where Ron lives now. Sometimes we cook a whole pig out on the big grill that we would get. Sometimes we just cook burgers. But whenever we ate lunch, we had a sportsman's club with a fishing pond there. And the young kids would always want Ron, because that's the only day of the year he went swimming. They wanted Ron to go swimming when Ron, and he would go because he'd get a little juices in him, them 12-ounce bottles or cans. And we'd go swimming, and he goes over swimming. I decided that day I wanted to go fishing. Sue wanted to go fishing. There was catfish and bass and trout and that in the pond. And Sue's over there. I said, Sue, don't go over there. It's really muddy. It's really, and we know the problem you had with mud that one day, Sue. She goes over there and she throws her line in. Man, all of a sudden her bobber just went boom, and it totally disappeared. Sue runs to pick up her pole, and she picks her pole up, and she's reeling that fish in. She had a catfish about that big. All of a sudden, she had a catfish on the shore, but it was muddy. The catfish flipped off of that hook, flipped down into that mud, and here this big woman body slam that catfish. When we finally got Sue dug out of the mud and up and to the top of the hill, I went back down there to look for that catfish. I literally had to take a shovel to dig that catfish out of the mud. And Sue says, "Bring it up here. I want that fish." I looked at that fish's eyes, and it looked at me like to say, "Ralph, haven't I went through enough? Don't I get deserved to go back in the water?" I'm serious, guys. She body slammed that catfish 2 feet deep into the ground. We all love Sue. I'm sad to see her gone, but she was very, very sick, something that could have been saved by the beds. And then I I get up today, and I'm talking about the beds now, guys. I get up today and I go into Telegram, and our little buddy Jimmy's got a couple pictures in there. And he's flying with his mommy. There's another one that should have been saved. If Myrna comes on, Myrna knows the sadness of losing someone. Hey, Pamela. Hi, Ian. Hi, John. One Voice, good to see you. But Myrna knows the things about losing her husband. There's another one. There's so many that could have been my brother-in-law that could have been saved if we would have just done something. But I'm going to do the kids section, and I'm going to continue with this part of the show. That was an amazing picture, Jimmy. Today I talked to Grandma for Patriot 11, and I thought that she had told me that the little man and his dad was going to go, Patriot 11 was going to get to go see her over the holidays, but she said it probably won't be, I think, until March or April. March, because I think that's his birthday, because he's the same birthday month as my granddaughter. She's going to look up some pictures and send to me, and she promised me she would tell the little man that we miss him. Then you have Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. I hope I want to say now for all the kids, I hope you have a happy new year. Out with the old, in with the new, but try something different. When you get the one, I need to get on my tablet. Go do something else. Go play with some toys. If you're 11, 12, 13 years old, boog, you're getting to be a teenager. Instead of getting on your tablet, call your boyfriend. John, don't get mad at me. I'm not trying to interfere here, buddy. I just would love to see you kids get away from your tablets. Because Boog's got Boogaloo, Boogaroo, Booged, Boogaloo, Boogie, and Boogaroo or something. The 4Bs is easier for me to call them. And I know Grandpa John, I hope that you're over there tonight and you're going to celebrate with them. And Patriot Prince is our queen, and everyone, I'm hoping that you have an amazing New Year's Eve and bring in the new year. As I sat here and looked up at the screen, I know Grandma's not probably happy right now because Miami just took a 6-0 lead on Ohio State. And she loves her Buckeyes. And I'm an Illinois fan, but my second favorite team is the Buckeyes. But the way the game is going tonight, it's looking to me like they don't want a repeating national champion. And it is what it is. Hunter, I hope everything is going great with you. Leona and Leilan, I can only wish you the best, and the greatest things are in your life are way ahead of you. Patriot Super Gymnast, I had a chance to talk to her briefly today. Her mom and Patriot 7 and Little Monkey was coming home from shopping, and that's when my daughter calls me a lot now. Sue, that the girl that I talked about passing away, would be my daughter's aunt. So she's been spending a lot of time with my ex-wife, her mom, trying to help her through it. Patriot Small Hank had some friends over today, but he decided he was going to slip downstairs last night and watch TV and stay up late last night. And he took a nap while his friends was over playing. And that didn't go over good with me. I went and woke him up, made him get up. There were some people over there. Patriot Kira, she's just her, and that pretty much takes care of the kids' version tonight. Didn't want to go into a lot of detail because I got a lot of things I want to talk about, and I don't have much time this year to talk. So, kids, just remember this show is not made for you. You can watch it under the discretion of your parents. legal guardians or your grandparents. And the video we played tonight, and if I can find it, I might play another one and let you listen to it. I thought it was very good, but I can't remember exactly where I found it and I didn't save it. So anyway, that kind of concludes it. But you know, I think when I talked about Sue, I think what I'm about to say goes with a lot of people. And if the people would have loved her as much when she was alive as I do now, if they had the feelings for her when she was alive as I do now, she might still be alive. And I'm not saying that, I'm not a judge, jury, or executioner. I'd like to be in Gitmo, but I'm not. But it is what it is. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about Small Hank and the people that came over today. The parents, two parents came over, sat and visited with my son and my daughter-in-law. I was laying in my bedroom. I didn't want to interfere in that, but I was dressed and I was laying in there with my dog. And my dog got to where she had to go to the bathroom. And when she has to go, I would rather her pee outside than pee my bed. So I got up to take her outside. And these girls said hi to me and they introduced themselves. And when I came back in, they started talking to me. And my little dog needs the beds. We got talking about some things. I told them some things I was doing for her to help her that I found out through Linda Scullion, whatever. And they said, I wish I'd have known that. And I said, well, I'm hoping and praying, and I pray to God every day that she can live long enough, healthy enough to get her on these magical beds. And that's how I said it. I said it the real word, but here we can't say that. And one girl, little Mexican girl, she said, what is that? And I told her, and the other girl jumps up and says, yeah, it's done with vibrations. And then she's starting to talk, right? And then she tells me about these radiation lights or something. I can't remember exactly how she put it. She says she goes and gets these lights like that. And whenever she has an ache and pain, like in her shoulder, her arm, or knees, or something, she just puts that up against it for 5 or 10 minutes, and it subdues the pain. So with that being said, it takes away the aches and pains of everything. And we stood there and talked for about them magical beds for quite some time. I did some research and I brought some videos up, and boy, I tell you, it was an amazing time because see, my son and my daughter-in-law sitting there, they didn't know what to do because I never talk about that in my house to my son and my daughter-in-law because I don't believe in it. But now all of a sudden, their friends are saying, yeah, they can't wait for it to come in. And the point I'm trying to make, dear guys, is it's amazing. If you just open your mouth to somebody, people are wanting now, I think, to learn. And I really believe, hi, none you bizwax, I really believe that if we can just get something, anything, it doesn't have to be major, just something going. I really believe if we can do that, you're going to see everybody's eyes open. Major disappointment for me and Ron the other night, sitting there and all of a sudden the lights went out. Doing nothing outside, a little bit of wind, lights go out. And I'm thinking, yes, now let's hear the three beep, long beeps, and then a short one. And then everything's going to go to one. It was just the wind knocked a line down or something. And it was a shame, but I was trying to find Bruce Intel, the one you listened to. I'm trying to find Bruce's Intel, the one I read, but I can't. Here it is, I think. This is, I don't know if this is Bruce or not. I got so much on my phone right now. Not a single person knows timing. There's so many gurus stating that it's going to go. Nobody officially knows the absolute trigger. That's why there's so much hate is in the RV community. It's all about fundamentals, the infrastructure to make countries to be able to RV globally. Almost all the components are done and ready to go. I've been watching Russia and what they have been doing for most of the third world countries and what they've been doing behind the scenes. That is huge component for their RV. So many huge meetings. So many huge meetings in Russia that body has been talking about. We know Tier 4A group are just starting to get paid out, let alone bondholders. I feel these large groups that keep leaking information to gurus are the groups will be delayed until Tier 4B gets notifications. This is military operations. They day Tier 4B is released. It's a monster that can't be stopped. Safety is a key component to all of us. So breathe. We are finally at the end. Oh, this was something I think by um, that was something by Wolverine. No wonder I had a hard time reading it. He's not the greatest computer. So I'm looking for Bruce's talk here, but I'm having trouble finding it. I can't find it. He's got it here. Bruce, the ones you read, but after he says it, he deleted two messages in a row. And let's see if this is it. When I go to it, it said it's not available. So let me try something real quick. And if I can't find it, I will move forward in another direction. Here's something I did want to read. Um, Patriot Savior. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find Bruce, but I want to read this. Situation update, December 31st, 2025. The HATS executive orders ignite the storm. GITMO overflowing with traitors. The HATS secret global military alliance crushes the deep state cabal. The Great Awakening explodes now. Patriots, the moments we've been waiting for is here. As we stand on the brink of 2026, President the Hat, unbreakable executive orders are in full force, unleashing the final phase of the plan to drain the swamp once and for all. These powerful orders, activated and expanded in recent months, have declared a national emergency that empowers the military to round up satanic deep state elites worldwide. No more hiding for the Clintons, Obamas, Bushies, Sewers, Gates, and the pedophile network. The white hats are executing mass arrests at lightning speed. GITMO is bursting at the seams. Patriots insiders report hundreds of high-profile traders have been secretly transferred there in the last week alone. Expansions completed just in time. New cells, new cells, tribunals running 24/7 under the military law. The laws of the war are being enforced relentlessly. Treason, child trafficking, elections theft, bioweapon releases, all charges are sickening and justice is swift. Whispers from the inside say executions have already begun for the worst offenders, sending shockwaves through the remaining cabal rats. They're panicking, fleeing, but there's nowhere to run. The HAP Global Military Alliance, with loyal force in over 100 countries, has sealed their fate. This alliance, built in the shadow by the hat and the Q team, is hammer dropping on new world order BRICS nations, aligning secretly with the fake wars, collapsing central banks, crumbling. It's all part of a scripted takedown. The emergency broadcast system is primed and ready any day now. The 10 days of truth broadcast will be exposing the adrenochrome horrors, the stolen elections, the fake pandemics, and the stolen children. Billions will awaken as the evidence floods the airwaves. No more media blackouts. No more big tech censorship. Military movements are massive right now. Convoys rolling, skies filled with unmarked flights heading south. The storm is upon us. The hat never left. He's been commander in chief all along, orchestrating the masterpiece from Mar-a-Lago, the fake, but then or Sleepy as I call him, regime was the perfect optic to lure out. Now that the hat poised for the ultimate return of Big N, Big G, activation, intimate, debt forgiveness, gold backed currency, prosperity funds releasing to we the people. Hold the line, Anons, pray warriors pray. The deep state's desperate false flag are failing. The clones double, can't save them. Victory is ours. God wins. The hat wins. America wins. The best is yet to come. But the fireworks start today. Share this far and wide. Red pill, everyone. Where we go one, we go all.
Who's hair like ginger? Right before you get to the one that I sent you, that you had to go listen to.
Why is this not surprising? This is about a gentleman breaking epi survivor Juliet Bryant claims Hollywood director Michael Bay was an epi client, alleging he was involved in the abuse of multiple
Stop it.
kids. Why is this not surprising? Because I heard of other stories during Bad Boys 2 pre-production in 2002. Bay scouted Miami clubs for. I wanted to read this, guys, but in it talks a lot about this survivor. She was a young girl. It talks a lot about kids, and I could read it, and I could say it would be the last show of the year, and it will be, but it might be the last show, period, depending on how they want to go. So it's on our Telegram page. If you choose to go look at it, it's worth the read. I'm trying to find one other thing here. Just in, Joe Biden's first husband, Bill Stevenson, is now a widower after Bill's wife pronounced dead in their Delaware home. I think a lot of people are going to be widowers or or go right with them. I don't know.
There's that little small article on my birthday.
Bruce Big Call, December 30th, 2025. Notes by Ginger Doucette. Tonight marks the first call of the 15th year of Bruce's Big Call. Last night was the start of his 15th year. Bruce says while we're walking through our plan A, our ordinary everyday lives, plan B, is right around the corner. Bruce believes that 2026 will be spectacular for all of us. He believes we will see supernatural happen in just a few days. Bruce wants everyone to think positively about our future. Bruce took a moment to grab a last minute piece of intel that came in during the call. The Christmas edition of the Big Call had Bruce and Sue doing role plays of what will happen during our appointments. Listen to that as a refresher on dealing with the processes of setting the appointment and A to Z at the Redemption Center. Bruce got some good intel today. We had heard there was a possibility of notifications today or tomorrow. Bruce thinks it's more likely to be on New Year's Day or Friday. Redemption Center screens have placeholders for 25 currencies and their rates, but they are blank. We have knowledge that the placeholder for the Venezuelan Bolivar is there because there was a lot of anticipation that if we was waiting for Venezuela to go, it would be at least a couple more years. But they have their placeholder ready to go. So they are anticipating the Bolivar being part of the process. In recent years, Bruce has been told there will be only one basket of currency revaluating. And I believe there's only going to be one basket because they do not want you double dipping. They do not want you going out and going in and trading your dong and your dinar and your zim and things like that in, and then going and being able to go and buy gazillions of bolivar. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take a chance. But I'm going to be going to the Redemption Center by myself. But what would stop us? That when I get that money, I just look at Ron and say, "Here, you're going to buy it." But I'm not going to do it because we have Bolivar, and I'm not going to take a chance. You know what? We're where we're at because of people cheating. So what we have when we go, let's be truthful to ourselves. Let's do what we need to do to get this done. The question right now is Iran. There is a spot for the Iranian rial. Its value went to almost nothing recently. Regime change could happen there and in Venezuela. The war between Russia and Ukraine seems to be coming to an end, as well as between Israel and Hamas/Gaza. President Tayyip met with and made phone calls yesterday on these matters. We need peace for Big N to take effect. We heard Big G was launched a few days ago. Bruce believes they will reach peace after January 1 for the Big G to fully be enhanced along with Big N. What people don't realize, the Big N can go into effect because the Big N is just for the United States. But they want it all to be announced and go together. That's why 209 nations have come together to do this. Redemption centers received their USTN currency about 6 weeks ago. Banks have also received some and more in the last 2 days. The deliveries have happened all over the country. We knew that the Vietnamese dong is doing very well with a good rate. The dong, dinar, real, etc., will all be eventually on par with the USTN. They will limit us to about 3,000 USTN at the redemption centers. So while a rate may be as high as $20, it will come down to $1 after the redemption center process and our exchanges. Take all your currencies with you. Now, last night when Bruce said take all your currencies with you, this really threw Mary Ann and myself for a loop. Why would anybody go to the redemption center and not take all of your currencies with you or take any of your currencies? It made no sense, but maybe what he meant to be putting across here was just make sure that when you go, you take everything. The likelihood is the rates will drop after the initial week or two of exchanges. The dinar is a contract wage, which is extremely high. If you have projects, whether or not you have Zim, you should have no trouble getting the contract rate. If you don't offer it, if they don't offer it, ask for it politely, which is something we have been explaining time and time again. All of the currency should be at a very strong rates. This is your reward for having faith in the exchange. The Zim is being handled like a bearer bond. On the front of a $100 trillion note, it says, pay to the bearer on demand. It will be on par with the dollar. Retiming, we thought the windows would be open to tomorrow for notification. Redemption Centers workers are going in tomorrow for half a day and we'll see what happens. Will they work on New Year's Day? Possibly, but unlikely. Banks are open to 1 p.m. tomorrow. In most areas, banks are closed on New Year's Day. Bruce Gutt says the redemption centers will close on New Year's Day. That means that we are likely in play for notifications on Friday. We have been told by high ups in Wells Fargo that we are looking for a weekend kickoff this weekend, including Friday. We could exchange as early as Friday. If we get started on Friday or Saturday, Bruce expects we will have the ability to go through the weekend, including Sunday. Everything could start after the 1st of January. If you get an email on Thursday afternoon, do we have people in the redemption centers? That is possible, but Bruce doubts the redemption centers close Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Bruce, December 30th, 2025, part 2. There will probably be no big call on Thursday, New Year's Day. We will plan to come back on Tuesday. We could have the numbers before the next big call. We could record a celebration call for Tuesday or go live. Watch your emails for one from Wells Fargo from the Big Call Universe. If you are registered with us, bigcalluniverse.com, we will post the 800 number on the website and put in our emails to similarly Wells Fargo will give you the 800 numbers. Bruce was told today we may expect $2,000 tariff dividend starting for people age 28 and older in the first 10 days of January. The R&R may also be in our accounts at the redemption centers, and DOGE dividends may also be coming. Let them know when you go to the redemption centers if you have a dire need for the special beds. Zim holders will have priority access. Bruce also more or less finished in saying that he truthfully believes that there is going to be a major raise in the Social Security. Now, Mike Davis contacted Ron yesterday and said he's got his Social Security for this month, and there was nothing. Well, there's not going to be nothing if you get it before the new year. But that does not mean that the first Wednesday of the month you don't get another deposit. I want everybody, truthfully, to literally stay as positive as you possibly can. I know we all have a tendency to lollygag off and get a little negative, but we need to stay positive. Mark's update today a little bit. All I got was everything went great, and we are finally back in place. I also have a contact in Europe, and they are very hopefully for between now and the second. I got something else here. I know. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but Sharon Becky sent a special beds video on our Telegram site, and I've heard it's really good from Sky Prince. I will check it out later. But just telling you guys, if you go into our Telegram site, TNT Rayrens 98 x.com at the TNT underscore team. Banks are making appointments for Friday and Saturday already. Enjoy the last hours of 2025, 2026 dreams come true from TNT Tony. He loved saying it so much, he put it in another post, and it's a different post. Wolverine had something, and it's a video I was going to play it, but I don't think I should because he says some things in there maybe. Tonight we're lighting the Washington Monument like never before, turning it into America's biggest birthday candle as we kick off the 250th anniversary. The celebration starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now let me go back to my messenger and see what we got. So we got Bruce, we got that. Reliable sources have indicated that the global currency reboot was about to be fully launched. The quantum financial system was now operating seamlessly in over 200 countries, paving the way for asset backed currencies and the largest wealth transfer in history. Redemption centers have been prepared for level 4B. We, the Internet Group, held Zim bonds and the foreign currency poised for revaluation. With notifications sent out to schedule exchange appointments. This was expected imminently and could begin as early as Monday, December 29th, and continue until Thursday, January 1st, when the new system will become fully accessible to the general public. The provisions of the Big N, Big G would bring universal debt forgiveness, the elimination of oppressive taxes, and the release of prosperity funds to restore abundance. The long suppressed healing technology of the special beds was positioned for the widespread distribution, offering restoration of those suffering from illness and injury. Insiders have confirmed that mass arrests of deep state agents were underway worldwide, with military tribunals proceeding in secure locations. The long awaited activation of the emergency broadcast system remains imminent, poised to reveal full extent of the corruption and awaken humanity to the truth that has been hidden for decades. Pray for the brave patriots who risk everything to free us from tyranny. Reports from underground networks indicate ongoing rescues of innocent children from vast tunnels, systems beneath major cities where they have suffered unimaginable horrors at the hands of the cabal. Thousands more lives are being saved daily by special forces. As the 10 days of darkness approach, communications may temporarily cease through this planned blackout service to protest the innocent while final operations dismantle the last strongholds of the cabal. The alliance guideline, by a higher purpose, has been executing the final phases with precision. Join January 20th. Internet dies. Phones only on EBS. If you're not in this channel, I'm not going to go into that. This is something Wolverine's trying to get you to join his channel. I don't see, if they're going to eliminate all the channels, why they're going to leave his up. But, Wolverine's Wolverine. He's under his 15th NDA. I think I read this about Mark's morning update, 12/31. Asia, all I got is everything went great, and we are finally back in place. Yeah, I did read that. I've already read that. So now I'm going to bring the Restored Republic in, and then I'm going to call it a year. I love saying that. Restored Republic via the GCR update as of Wednesday, 31st December 2025, compiled by Judy Bidington. Past U.S. elections, fraudulent politicians and bureaucrats funneling billions into their own pockets, sting operation, mass stress, and of globalist cabal happening right now. Global currency reset of over 200 countries on January 1st. Prepare for 10 days of communication darkness. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Judy note Patriots are in trouble with strong need to rescue ourselves. For years, politicians and bureaucrats have funneled U.S. taxpayers' money uh, to fake nonprofits in order to fund their mansions and private jets, according to head of DOGE audits Elon Musk. FBI investigations and those same DOG audits also show that for years, over 800 Minnesota SOMALI fake transportation companies that have no passengers and over 50 Minnesota SOMALI fake daycare centers with no children have stolen multi millions of U.S. tax dollars. Patriots in other states, such as Ohio, were demanding investigations of fake transportation companies and daycare centers where the same was suspected. Tucker Carlson has produced a video of two companies which own over half of the U.S. veterinarian hospitals that have doubled their prices over the last year, according to the IRS records. California Governor Newsom has been running a criminal enterprise. The U.S. companies of Smartmatic and Dominion voting machines have been found tied to Venezuelan, China, and CIA global election fraud, according to John F. Kennedy Jr. on Telegram. Until along came the hat and the Q movement, the above perpetrators were known to be S blank 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 N worshipers, those who have held the global financial system hostage for decades. This week was set to change the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Full activation of gold asset backed quantum financial system QFS was set publicly launched Thursday, 1 January 2026. In planning for over 20 years, this global currency revaluation from fiat to gold asset backed currencies was now irreversible, with over 200 nations fully integrated into the QFS. Prosperity funds were positioned for release redirecting trillions from corrupt entities back to the people. Big N, Big G protocols are activating worldwide, bringing universal debt forgiveness that will erase mortgages, credit cards, loans, and unjust taxes imposed by the old cabal system. Tier 4B notification and redemption appointments are expected imminently, potentially overnight into Wednesday, 31st December, allowing humanitarian groups and currency holders to access their blessed funds for projects that uplift communities and heal the planet. Advanced special beds powered by quantum technologies stand ready for distribution post transition, offering miraculous healing for all those who have suffered under the previous regime suppression of true medicine. Trusted military sources have indicated that the greatest sting operation in history has been reaching its climax mass arrest of deep state elites involved in unspeakable crimes against humanity were accelerating worldwide, with seal indictments now exceeding 500,000 being executed under direction of global military alliance. The storm has arisen in full force, exposing layers of corruption that have long enslaved. Reports ongoing sources of the innocent children from underground facilities and T blank 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 G, a lot of blanks, networks that have operated in shadows for decades. Thousands of traumatized survivors are receiving care as brave special forces team dismantle these horrific operations across the country. The emergency broadcast system remains on high alert, poised for activation that could initiate the 10 days of darkness and period of a global communication blackout, designed to protect the public while the broadcasting undeniable evidence of elite crimes, including, I can't read it, and it's about the kids. You're advised to stock essentials, secure your homes, and turn to prayer. The transition may bring temporary challenges, but heralds the liberation of humanity. According to the FBI Director Kash Patel, a military intelligence movement was born after Lincoln was assassinated, and purposes was to eliminate global financial systems long controlled by the global bankers and political operators. The Q movement solidified with JFK and reactivated to put the hat into office. Now I know that's true because I seen him in a video in 1962. In 62, say that the hat would be the 45th president. The U.S. never the U.S. was never truly free. Corporate law, admiralty systems, and private financial controls have kept nation in debt in an illusion supported by paid for mainstream media. Meanwhile, trillions were stolen from the people by the satanic worship child, satanic cabal, and even charged interest to use our own money. The hat countered with executive authority, continuity orders, and global military alliance. Space Force was activated. The old system was quietly frozen. On Saturday, 20 December 2025, one stroke of his pen, the hat shifted everything. 9 days later, it began. Timing, 29 December 2025, this reset of the world financial, medical, judicial, and spiritual systems is a worldwide event about to enter its execution phase. It is the final stage of the plan to save the world from the networks you know as the Illuminati cabal. FBI Director Kash Patel on Telegram. This criminal trust structure no long no this criminal structure long alleged to operate through covert channels is described as having leveraged institutions and black budgets entrenched power via the central banks across the globe. At 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, December 28th, 2025, the Go /code posted to the board at 2311 Zulu on Monday, December 29th, 2025. The Quantum Financial fired from the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Once the EBS master switch is flipped, every radio, TV, and internet channel will consolidate to one secured frequency. On Sunday, December 28th, Global Bank servers entered cyber review. Within 48 hours, they will return online under QFS authority. The worldwide emergency broadcast will follow when the phone chirps, 3 short and 1 long. It is live. All devices and platforms will be seized and unified broadcast. Every eligible citizen will receive Big G credits in a Starlink wallet. Special Beds Phase 1 code name Horizon Dawn is scheduled for Tuesday, January 13, 2026. Civilian rollout of special beds will follow within 72 hours. Then he goes on to talk about Bruce. I've said a lot. I hope you've listened to a lot. I hope you've had a great time talking, enjoying one another. There's Simons Livingston, 7722. Welcome. I think I said hi to you, Ian Bill, none you Bizwax, Janet, Sandra, DX6SW. Good to see you here. Pamela, good to see you here. Jeffrey. Hey, Myrna, good to see you. Happy New Year, Myrna. Myrna says she's sorry she fell asleep. Well, you deserve to sleep. You know, Myrna, I wonder how many people fell asleep on my show tonight. Ron, I knew he did. Harry 3664 needs special bed. Who contacts? What you need to do is, do you have currency? Harry 3664, do you have any currency? Any Zim? And even if you don't have Zim, when you go to the Redemption Center, I'm getting excited too, Jeffrey. Silver only. Okay, so you won't be going to the Redemption Center. I tell you what I'll do. Janet, you got I'll just give you, guys, SOLAVEI2454 at gmail.com.
SOLEV. Will you spell salivate?
What?
You got a different one besides salivate on Gmail?
Okay, the top there, I sent you guys my Patriot 5, Patriot 6. If send it also to Salave2454 at gmail.com. That's my number one email address. That's one I check 50 times a day. And Carrie, send me an email tonight. Tell me who you are. I will save your email. And as soon as I have the information about the beds, I will make sure you get it. Anybody else want that? You can send me an email there too. We have Sandra DX6. Sandra D. Look at me. There was someone expert, 1871. But we're not going to let anybody out to hang. out to dry. Um, don't know anybody's situation, but it's never too late to get a little more currency. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you, you can go to certain places. I mean, even if you go to Google and what's that everybody buys off of, but there's Amazon. You can go there, put in foreign currency. Right now, a good foreign currency to buy in a small amount is the dong. If you want to make sure you find out at a redemption center meeting, you can also look about getting some Zim. You can pick up billions for literally a few bucks. You don't have to have the trillions. You have to have Zim to go to the redemption center. And I'm not telling you guys to go out and do it. I'm just saying if you want everything to fall into place, if you got a few bucks, do it. I few bucks myself to death, so I'm not doing it anymore. But it was nice to be able to answer questions, guys. We've had a lot of shows this year. We'll be back Friday, unless we get the 800 number tomorrow. And if we do, I'll come back tomorrow night. I wish everyone a happy new year. I think it's going to be the greatest financial year of our life because, as I know, one of the people that just came on who fell asleep, I won't mention her name. She doesn't have any currency, but it doesn't matter. Money is going to come apart. It doesn't matter how much you have. Everybody's going to have so much. Guys, they're just not just finding millions, they're finding trillions and more. They're opening up this one account that was worth 150 and then 24 zeros behind it. Solved my bank. PNC said not redemption center. I
PNC.
I don't think PNC is going to have redemption centers. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'm getting a little hungry, getting a little thirsty. I love each and every one of you. So does Ron. We hit over 100 people. See, Myrna woke up and she got us over 100. Everyone give Myrna a hand. So, Golden Arrow, good to see you.
Golden Arrow.
Pamela, you haven't been sending me emojis in the morning. Did you get mad at me? I know I. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong person. I'm sorry. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you're in our messenger group, I hope you enjoyed the Sharon Becky. I didn't see her on tonight, but I hope you enjoyed the pre New Year's Eve uh, emoji, and I'll send one out to everyone tomorrow for New Year's Eve. From the bottom of my heart, we love you all. Good night. God bless and Happy New Year to all of you.